checkers, wreckers, and more. Brought to you by Howe Patio and Windows. They bring you premier windows, sunrooms, siding, and roofing in all of Southwest Michigan since 1983. Disclaimer. Anything you hear or see on this episode cannot be held against Checkers, Wreckers, and More. Copyright Checkers, Wreckers, and More, 2022.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus, or as our brothers to the south call you, Jesus, we thank you so much for this bountiful harvest of Domino's, KFC, and the always delicious Taco Bell. I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my two beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR, as we call him. And of course, my red-hot smoking wife.
What is going on, everybody?
Aloha.
Hey, who are you?
I'm Paul. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Man, he's been gone for so long. I kind of forgot I had a co-host.
To be fair, two things. One, on a microphone Friday night, Chad did say this was his podcast. Two, his mom required my full attention the last 2 weeks. So,
we went there. We went there. Even the mic screeched at you. I did apologize. I walked up there and you didn't even hear it. I didn't even have to apologize.
For Alicia mentioning it, I would not have.
No, I apologize. Yeah, we won't go there. What's going on, Jamie? Man, it is good to have you back.
It's good to be back. I was looking forward to it today.
It's really like I can do the show solo. I don't want to ever do the show solo. I hate doing the show solo.
I didn't get to watch last week's. I did watch 2 weeks ago. You did great.
I like to talk to you. Like
you like to talk. I would have never.
No. What I'm saying is it's really hard to do the show, and I go to talk and nobody's there, and I'm like, well, this is really interesting.
One of those Paul on a 6.
Why didn't we ever think about that?
You call it your podcast.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah,
Oh, what's up, Amanda? Long time no see.
See, I'm not going to be the only one giving you crap. No, it's good to have you back. The show we started together, and like I told you before, I don't like doing this show without you. It's always fun to have my buddy here with me.
So I appreciate you turning the AC on prior to me getting here.
It's 80 degrees in this damn place. I'm like, no. Yeah, there's a sign that says don't touch it. Sorry, I touched it.
Sorry, Barb.
But real quick, just make sure you guys like our page. You share the stream tonight. Let's get the word out. Make sure you comment. We got the Mr. Tom Wright in the house tonight. So make sure you get your comments in, have some fun with you guys. Huge thank you to Howe Patio Windows for giving us a great place to record. And of course, Alicia, thank you for everything that you do for not only me, but for Paul as well.
And happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially Alicia here. Did you guys have a good day?
It wasn't bad. We went to her parents' house. We cooked out on the grill. It was good. Bubba freaked out there was a spider when he opened the grill.
Oh, I don't blame him. Don't blame him.
You see this video of that big tick?
I had to ask what that was. He sent me that video, and I was like, "Is this a crab?" I don't know.
We luckily, like I live in the middle of the woods. We get mosquito spray. Oh, here we go.
Birds.
Mosquito shields, and they spray for ticks and mosquitoes because well worth the money. It's just terrible. That too. Yeah.
Yes. What?
What?
So if you don't know, we have a shop cat at my work. I'm now a grandfather to 3 kittens. So yeah, that's so if you need a cat, anybody let me know because we're not keeping them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we have 4 kittens at our house as well too. So anyone needs cats.
I'm also having problems with words.
Real quick, Anderson Jr. there, his wife is really going through a battle right now. So our thoughts and prayers are out to you and your family. Hopefully everything comes around for you guys. You guys are definitely in our thoughts and prayers. So
same with everybody, down in Portage.
Oh,
man. Wild last week. We're kind of heading up the Portage cleanup for trees and Texas Township. It's almost 10,000 yards worth of debris right now.
Yeah, it was insane. We were those idiots that drove out there after the storm.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but
no, we were when it wasn't. I told her, I'm like, we shouldn't do this. But she had a valid point. Not too often your kids get to see what a tornado actually can do. You can watch videos, you can do all this and everything, but to witness it firsthand, oh, I know what he's saying. I see. To see it firsthand, to kind of explain, like, look, tornadoes are nothing to mess around with. Yeah, we don't see them often in Michigan, but this is what they can do. And then seeing it,
dude, I'm gonna argue the other side of that, having been through the
and
Texas
that's okay.
tornado and seeing how much people gawking delayed things getting accomplished right off the bat. Pain in the ass.
No, and I get that, and that's what I said to her. I'm like, if you see signs, you see anything, we need to just get out of the way, which we did. It was insane though. It was not cool. And of course, we're on Westonage when the second tornado warning goes off, and they're telling people to take cover. And I'm like, oh,
drive faster.
Great. I'm right. This is why I didn't want to leave the house. Yeah, we've seen the funnel cloud, but it was insane. But yeah, so I run down in Portage. Seriously, we're all thinking of you as well, and even down south further, they got hit, Mendon, and all that. It was just a crazy week.
Wild Tuesday.
Hey, you think it was a Monday?
And even driving up here, it was downpouring like a mofo till a mile away. Yeah.
So you watched the NASCAR race.
I did.
What's your thoughts of it?
The ending of the last 10 laps were pretty exciting. It was cool to see Brad win. I'm not a huge Brad fan, but I like guys breaking a winless streak. I think that's pretty cool. I love that the mic was hot on pit road when Buescher and Reddick got into it. And then Mike Joy having to apologize. That to me is the best win of the day. That's true emotion of the sport. We've talked about it numerous times. And he pointed it out. I mean, they've raced plenty good. They respect each other. Personally speaking, I didn't see anything super malicious. He tried to back out of it, but it's Darlington, and you're 5 laps to go for the win. I mean,
yeah, no, it's racing. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I really want to touch on Kalamazoo on Friday night real quick before we move on. I thought the racing was great. A lot of action on the track, but I want to give a personal shout out to 2 people. First one, I want to give a shout out to Bam Foot, Bentley Foot. The kid raced probably the race of his lifetime. Ran his best lap ever. The kid struggled, and he'll be the first to admit it, and AJ and Lindsay first to admit it. He got to find that nick, you know what I mean? And he found it, and I don't know what got into him.
He's got some swagger this season.
It just came out of nowhere, and the kid, oh yeah, it might be his number 1 fan. We won't talk about that. I'm not gonna embarrass her.
I forgot about that story too.
Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, though, that kid, I thought he was gonna win it. I really did, and this is what it is, though. He earned that second place, though, and the emotions, and this is why I like continuing to do victory lane interviews and all that, is because the emotions that I get to see on that track is just, it's amazing, especially first time winners, someone that's gotten that close to getting that win and earning that win. That was really cool.
You know what I've noticed this year that I'm up in the stands a little bit more. There's a lot more fan vocalization. The cheers for one, yeah, definitely when certain people win. A lot of boos this year too, which I enjoy. I mean, you paid your $15 for a ticket, whatever general admission is. Yeah, you want to boo? By all means, you paid for that ticket. So
yeah, it's no different going to a football game.
Yeah.
You go to a professional football game, they're going to boo the other team. Yep. So why not? But I also want to do a shout out to my brother-in-law, Bubba Darrell. His first official race.
First top 10 on 1.5 cylinders. So
that's a win.
Yeah.
He's busted his ass for not only me, but it's for you as well, and the whole PJP team. And it's really good to finally see him get his chance to get out there and have fun. And you know what? I wasn't up there when he got out of the car, but from what I heard is he was all smiles.
He was. And I told him it's weird how I am at a racetrack and kind of seeing the guys I grew up racing with. Bubba's a lot different. He's very relaxed. And it made me more nervous seeing him relax. I was like, well, this is backwards. But yeah, it was cool to see him out there. He's smart behind the wheel, and that bodes well because we've seen first timers go out and 3 laps in, we're 9 wide, and not you.
No, I did.
I was talking about you. Not this time.
But yeah, so we definitely, hopefully, we can get the faster car for him because I
Yeah.
think he'll do really good things with that.
Or one that runs on all
Or
cylinders.
one that runs on all cylinders. Before we move on, I do have one more thing I want to talk about. What's your thoughts on autograph night?
Love them.
Me too.
Yep. When I first started racing, that was probably one of the biggest events that we circled on the calendar outside of like, you know, your big money races and stuff like that. It's cool because a lot of people that bring families to the racetrack don't get to come down and experience like a PJP after party or anything cool that happens, which, you know, it is 18 and up. So
we do not want people.
We had ballets though last Friday. That was fantastic. But no, they get onto the track. They get up close and personal with the cars. I freaking love them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Owasso had one early in the year already this year. M40 just had one Saturday. I love the autograph nights. I think it's like you said, a great opportunity to get people up close and personal. And I don't know if Kelmas is doing it and when they're doing it. Hopefully we can make something work because we got to get those out there. I think that's a huge.
I would enjoy the autograph night a lot more than the heat races we're doing. So if we need to save some time, that'd be my vote. I'm all for pissing people off. Like we talked about heat races so much last year. I'm anti heat race. I
get
there's arguments for both sides.
Yep.
But
and I'm one of those that argue heat race. I think heat races need to happen in the lower classes, not for upper classes.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Who was that? I think it was Scott Russell was out in Colorado at a race this last weekend, and just seeing what he was saying was going on at the track. I'm like, that's terrific. I mean, that is what we need. I mean, I get the time crunch. There really is. Now that I'm in the stands, the downtime is a killer. Back there this year and hearing why it was getting pushed so much, and now seeing it back from the stand side, it is. I do enjoy it for the bathroom breaks or, you know, the high side hustler breaks, but
you know, if we do the autograph nights, maybe that's one of those nights where we're going to go a little bit later than we normally go, and that's not a terrible thing. I mean, it's just I like them. I want to kind of get your opinion on that because I see all these tracks I've already done these autograph nights.
So many of us racers take the time, even if it's just a picture we print out to autograph, but they invest so much time and effort into badass autograph cards that you might give a couple away after the races. Maybe.
Not like it used to be.
No,
I know. I get what you're saying. And we talk about getting the younger generation into the sport. What better way than getting them up close and personal with these vehicles?
Yeah.
And I say vehicles, these race cars. That's what I remember as a kid.
Nick, we'll be back out there. I was looking at the schedule today. My dad was giving me stuff yesterday. So
your dad?
Yeah, my dad wants it back.
How much shit did I give you?
Not much.
Not as bad as your dad.
Wait, what?
About your car not being
No, about taking the limited back.
Oh,
yeah.
I misunderstood you.
No, we've been talking about. I say we being Bubba Brooks about a dirt modified, and Dad raised his eyebrow at that one. But can we really do any worse? Is the question. So,
okay. I mean, Matt's 100% right there too about getting it early in season,
and when the cars still look good. You know what would be cool? All right, we're gonna digress real quick. It'd be cool, like the Saturday open practice, if there was also an autograph night. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. There's a lot of logistics that need to work out.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the real topics.
So like Joel just said, Lewis is looking for some cars for an event at his school. So look at Top Row Racing Media and Lewis's Facebook to check that out. And if you're interested, send him a message. It'd be kind of cool to see that too. So I got nothing else before you want to just do it? You want to bring him on?
Whoa. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We're going to get this rolling here. Roll that beautiful beam footage. Oh. And just like that.
Was I supposed to say poof or poof?
Poof.
The pyrotechnics are still.
Yeah, they're still loading. I
Somebody's
mean,
behind over there.
oh,
Pyrotechnics, loud noise, something.
budget. It didn't fit in the. It definitely did not fit in the budget.
Okay.
It was way off in the
I
budget.
apologize.
You're fine. He doesn't pay me anyway.
Wow, I'm getting beat up. You need to leave again. No, I'm kidding. First off, thank you for joining us. I'm excited about this one. You're one of those guys at the track where we're like, there's Tom. So we're excited for this one. So I'm going to jump right in and ask the first question.
All right, hit me.
Who? You want me to hit you?
Well, no hit me hard.
My money's on Tom.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. Who's Tom Wright?
Tom Wright. Let's see. Tom Wright is a husband. He's a dad. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good friend to a lot of people. And I'd like to think I'm a pretty hard worker. That's Tom Wright.
That's probably one of the best answers.
Yeah,
of the year
right to
there.
the point. I like it.
Yep. All right, Tom. How many times have you officially retired and then come back to work at the Speedway?
So we were actually talking about this before you got here, because even though you are here, I was told you might be a little late too.
Yes, yeah.
We were already talking about it, and I said, because Chad asked me the same thing, and I said, the funny thing, I retire, and then Gary comes and says, okay, I know you retired from this job, but I got another job for you. So then I come back and I do that one. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then I retire from that job, and then Gary comes back and he says, hey, how about, and so the retirements were all real. I mean, like when I said, hey, I'm going to retire from racing, I retired from racing. I didn't know I was going to be in tech. And then when I retired from tech, I didn't know I was going to come back as a pit steward. And then when I retired from that, I didn't know I was going to come back as a race director. So every retirement has stuck.
It's funny. He's got half the name right for these retirees and coming back. Tom Brady likes to retire and come back,
All the goats.
Yeah, all the goats. There we go.
We'll take that. I'll take that. All right. So let's jump in and actually talk about what you actually do at Kalamazoo Speedway now.
Yeah, so race director. First of all, I'd like to say I have a lot of respect for Terry Kaiser now after doing this for a few weeks. So basically in control of anything between the inside wall and the outside wall. So whether it's calling the cars on the track, helping Tyler, he makes a lot of the calls with decisions as to who brought out the caution, who's the caution car. He makes that decision a lot, but I also help out with that decision. Deciding when we're going to send the next cars out on the track. It's a little confusing at first. I filled in once last year. Gary was nice enough to wait until I arrived at the track to tell me that I was going to be the race director for the night. Thank you, Gary, if you're watching. I owe you one.
I was there for that one. That was good.
Yeah, you were actually up there. I'm like, I'm doing what? And then he says, oh, yeah, but you got 3 radios. And I said, I got 3 radios. Well, yeah, you got one that talks to KTS, one that talks to the tower, one that talks to the drivers. And I'm like, I've got my headset and button here, button here, button there. I don't know who I'm talking to half the night. I mean, I apologize to the drivers if you heard me say something that was meant for the anyways. So basically responsible for anything that's on the track. This year's a little nicer. I have Mike up there with me, and he's actually doing the KTS stuff. So he's sending the safety truck out, which takes a burden off of me. Yeah, I mean, even in things like deciding when the gates open, when we're going to send somebody across the track, that's my call. So
Nice.
It's not a bad job, I guess. I'm getting used to it. It's taking a little while.
We'll post his email after the show.
Yeah, no, they won't.
It's Gary Howe at Kalamazoo
Yes,
Speedway.
yes.
Yes. G Howe at Kalamazoo Speedway. So,
All right, I want to take it back to the tech official days. Who was the biggest pain in the ass you had to deal with?
Please say it. Please say it. You do it.
Donnie Breast, are you out there?
What?
We get to talk. No, actually, I'll be honest. My tech days went surprisingly well most of the time. I'm not going to say that there wasn't a couple times I had some issues with some guys, and
Paul.
No, actually,
I was always respectful.
Actually, racing with Paul and knowing Paul, and Paul's never a problem. But there's a couple of guys out there. I'll tell you, if you really want to know, one of the surprising things about when I did start teching that I didn't realize was that a lot of these guys tech themselves. And what I mean by that is I can be down there and somebody might come up to me and they might go, hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but that 99 car over there has got such and such on it. And I'm like, well, they didn't met through tech yet. I've already got 5 guys telling me what's wrong with that car as they're loading it up. They haven't got off the trailer. I'm already hearing about it in tech. So, sometimes you don't have to do a lot of teching because everybody techs each other.
You're not wrong.
Especially there. It's a small infield. You're going to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Nice talking to you the other day too, by the way. That was really nice.
On the whole tech side of it, what I've noticed when you were teching is you always shook everybody's hand that went through tech.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, how that is so important in the racing community because it makes them feel appreciated. You may be the a-hole out there that's going to tech the guy, but you're going to be the nicest a-hole there is.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, and I always tried to be respectful. One of the things that I told Gary about when I took the job is I said, you do realize that you may not know this, but whoever your tech guy is kind of the face of the racetrack. And the reason I say that is there is only one person at that whole track that every single driver talks to every single night, and that's your tech guy. When they sign in, they may have a different person at the sign-in window when they get their pit pass. They may not see Gary all night. They may not see Randy all night. But I guarantee you, they are going to see the tech guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so my philosophy always was, I'm going to be kind, respectful. The other thing is too, I know most of the drivers, been out there a long, long time.
Right.
So I knew most of them. I'm going to treat them the way I want to be treated. And yeah, the last thing I always did was shook their hand and said good luck before they went on the track.
Yep.
It was just, I think everybody should do that.
I remember the times I went through. Every time Paul went through, it's just what we remembered. So.
Good. I'm glad it made a good impression. Anyways.
You did definitely.
Guys, I don't know how the guys are doing, down there now, but hopefully they're doing well.
Yeah. No, I mean I forget where I was going with that. I lost my whole train of thought.
What's up, Bill?
Thank you, Bill.
What can drivers do to help you?
So a couple of times this year already, I've had issues with people who didn't have receivers in.
What?
Yeah, I know. Scandalous. But that's like my biggest thing is trying to talk to drivers, and you know darn good and well that they don't have a receiver in, or they might be ignoring you.
What?
Again. But that to help just as far as a driver this year with what I'm doing now, I would say get a receiver, put a battery in it, check it before you go out there. I mean, it doesn't take long. When Sarah comes on and does a receiver check, stick your hand out the window and let us know so that if you don't have it, we can get that addressed. It's a simple little thing, but it's huge on the racetrack. And we've actually had a couple incidents this year with people that didn't heed a black flag or whatever, and they didn't have a receiver.
Man, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Paul's like,
Well, I was just thinking back to before receivers were kind of a thing. Like now, not having it in, like for open practice and stuff, at Springport or whatnot, you don't need it, and it's weird because you're just always used to
hearing something,
the pre-race check and stuff like that. So
yeah, and that's the funny thing. It's I raced a long time when they first introduced receivers to me. And I never like, oh, you're going to be carrying this thing, and you're going to be able to hear somebody's going to be talking in your ear, and I'm like, I don't know if I like, Well, you could, like Paul said, you're so used to not having it at first, and then all of a sudden you have it, and then to go back and not have it again is kind of an odd adjustment.
Yep.
Once you're used to something, you're kind of used to it. So,
real quick, like Angie Lee Rutherford, there, he hated you as a tech guy because he had too much respect for you to argue. Terry's already jumped on. Perfect man for the job. Then Tyler there. Great work. Keep it up there. So
I appreciate all that. I mean, I really do. And some great guys right there too. So to get that, and Tyler more than once has saved me this year from sending cars out with a safety truck on the track. So I told him last week, I said, what we're going to do, I said, we're going to fix that. I said, what we're going to do is we're going to put numbers on the safety truck so nobody notices that I just sent cars out with the safety truck still on the track. So I said, maybe it'll just blend in.
I think that safety truck could probably keep up with most cars.
I think it could.
not to change the subject.
No, Donnie, you can't.
Oh.
Donnie can't ask questions. We don't take questions from
Okay.
Donnie. I'm
Noted.
quiet.
I don't know if Donnie heard that he was your most pain in the butt in the tech line, but now you do know.
Oh yeah, he knew that already. Yeah.
Did you see the video of that super modified running into the
My God.
safety truck? I don't really
Yeah.
know what.
It's a push truck.
Push truck, yeah.
Oh man, that's
So I did a lot of research on that because I'm like, that's crap. He did say that the track and all that have compensated him very well. It's like, oh my God. Like, how do you
I don't.
I don't know. Go ahead, buddy. You
Well,
can
we remember the jet dryer incident, Juan Pablo.
That's true.
I mean,
A race car is going to find a way to hit something. So
I mean, shit, I think some of the zoo stocks were hitting the pace vehicle this weekend.
I
Bumping
remember
it.
when
I think
Busted.
Street Stock a couple years ago ran into the KTS truck, turns 1 and 2.
yeah.
Oh,
Good times.
guy says that's not news. All right, Paul, go ahead.
All right. We'll touch briefly on your racing career.
I didn't do it for very long, so let's keep it brief.
Okay. What was your favorite track to run at?
I really liked. Kalamazoo was always my home track, right? Let's face it. Born in Plainwell, gone out to Kalamazoo since I was a baby. Sat up in turns 1 and 2 with my mom while my dad was down in the pits helping guys on the race cars. Been around it a long time. Kalamazoo was always like my home track. As far as just like a fun track, I really like M40, and I know a lot of guys don't. But once you adjust and learn that 3 and 4, you can be pretty fast down there. I really like M40 and Bearfield. I ran Bearfield, and I really liked Bearfield. The big Bearfield, not the small track.
We were friends. We were friends.
PTSD really sunk in there for Paul.
I've never finished. I've
I
destroyed
haven't
so
said a
many
bad word
race
about Hamlin
cars.
yet. No, and now here we are. Come on now. I've been trying to keep that part to myself, and I bring up Bearfield, and all of a sudden I want to.
His eyes lit up and he just looked
You
like
don't like Bearfield.
I
PTSD
don't.
was to the max there.
Oh, I
The concrete filled tires were.
Well, yeah. And you're so fast. On the big track. So much speed at that track. We were down there scrambling, borrowing gears. Trying to get things dialed in. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. So
That's
Paul's
my mom.
mom.
sorry, Paul's mom.
She's a great woman. So have you ever considered racing again?
Not really. No.
No.
No, I did it for 31 years. And it took a long time for me to make up my mind and say I was done. And when I finally said, I'm done, I was done. I love the driving part of it, but it got to be where so many nights in the shop and how I funded my racing. I told my wife a long time ago when I first got married, I was racing before that even. I started racing in high school, but I told her I won't cut into my 40-hour paycheck to go racing. And so I started building cars, doing bodies for a lot of guys, tons of guys come bring their stuff to me, and then between sponsorship and doing all that extra work. And sometimes my car was the last one to get worked on because I had 4 cars in there that I needed to get done during the week. I had some great guys helping me, but it was a lot. But I stuck to my guns and I said, I'm not pulling for my paycheck. We're going to find another way to do this, or we're not going to do it at all. And so after all the years, and then I had a really good friend of mine. I was partnered up with Harry Try at the end. And when Harry passed away, I'll be honest, the fun in the shop was done. And when the shop fun is done, I think it's time. And I just knew it was time. So I quit. And Gary and Al Harris were chasing me around, and I think Al was going to beat me up if I didn't take the tech job. So I finally, after like months of telling them no, decided I would come back the following year and run tech. So, but the racing was great, but to put a suit back, if I somebody says, hey, here's a front wheel drive, jump in it for a night and go have fun. Yeah, I would do that.
Didn't you race a stacker as well?
Oh, I've raced stackers. I've raced school buses. I've done rollover contests. I've done, I've done all that stuff. Yeah. So,
I think it would be cool to have an officials race, like towards the end of the season.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, that would be fun.
Like
That would
all the officials,
Yeah,
the
get
flagman,
Randy,
like
get Gary, get
oh.
everybody.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
I think that would.
Do you
be
remember
nice.
last time Gary was in a race car?
Okay, it didn't go so hot.
It did
but
not go so hot. His glasses were.
Yeah, they were out on the track. I
We'll
think, weren't
stick
they?
to
Yeah.
just less this time.
Man,
I remember that.
work your magic, Paul.
Come on, Paul, do something for us.
All right.
Go ahead.
Pull it together.
All right.
My fire stew, it's all hanging there, ready to go. So I mean, I could jump in one more time.
See,
There we
oh,
go.
Donnie wants to join too. Donnie can be the pace truck driver. Just kidding, Donnie. Love you, man.
Al Herrick says he begged. I don't know. I felt intimidated, Al. I'm not sure it was begging. I felt a little intimidated here, big guy.
All right, Paul, go ahead, man.
All right. So for those that may not know at home, you race bikes now.
Yeah. How's that for a transition, huh?
Well, it looks really hard.
And it is.
How long is the average race? Because I see what you do, and I'm like, that first hill would be the end of me.
I wouldn't even make it the
No.
first hill.
It depends. So I race. First of all, I mean, I didn't get into this until like 4 years ago. I've always been pretty active, and I've always liked to go to the gym and try to stay healthy and whatnot.
Me too.
And then COVID came around, and my daughter was on a mountain bike team, a club at Western Michigan, and she's like, "Dad, you can't go to the gym anymore. You should buy a bike." And so I did, and started playing around with it, and it sucked. I'm not kidding. I go out and ride. They call it the warm up loop at Yankee Springs. It's only 2 miles, and I'd stop like 6 times.
Only?
Yeah. So it was terrible, but I kind of stuck with it, and then I bought a better bike and spent more money and whatnot. And then now it's a dumb amount of money I'm spending on bikes. But I race fat tire bikes in the wintertime. I go up to Marquette and I run a race called the Polar Roll. It's a lot of fun, and it's a short race. I think that one's 17, 18 miles, something like that, in the snow. And then I also do gravel bike races, which could be anywhere from 18 to 30, 40 miles. I've got a gravel bike race, another one in Marquette called the Crusher that I'm doing this summer. It's 40 miles. And then I do mountain bike racing, and my mountain bike racing can be anywhere from 8 to 16 miles, depending. But out of all of those, mountain biking I found that's kind of like my thing, because they're a little bit shorter and they're balls out the whole time. And that, for whatever reason, suits me. And so I've done pretty
Balls out the whole time, like for the 40, 30, whatever miles.
So,
like
the first one I ever did, I came in and I had my heart monitor on, and I'm looking at my Garmin watch and I'm checking everything out. And my heart rate was, I hit 192 beats a minute. My average was, I don't even know, some stupid number, but I found out that's kind of like my thing is I've podiumed, and a lot of times on it, but it's broken down by age group. So I'm in the 40 and above. I'm almost 56 years old. So
would never guessed.
I mean, I'll be 56 in a few months. And so they break it down. So at least they do it by, but I'm really proud of the fact that I won the Yankee Springs time trial race a month ago. And then if you go back right now and you look at my time for that, I would have been one spot off the podium with the 19 to 39-year-olds. I would have been 4th in their race. So that was pretty good, but
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yes, but I love to ride. It's just it's one of those things. It's kind of like driving. I'll be honest with you. And you guys both been in a race car, and you can relate to this. When you're in a car, you're focused on what's there. The day to day, I don't care how crappy your day was. When you're in that car, you're not thinking about it. And it's the same thing for me when I get on my bike. And so I go out and I ride Yankee Springs or Custer, or there are a lot of these mountain bike trails in the area, and it's more of just to get away from things more than anything. It's not necessarily about I like to be competitive too, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things that just takes your mind off of everything.
I couldn't do it.
So
I could not do it. That's props to you for doing that, because you're like, oh, it's a short race. We got 20 miles. What?
I'm not kidding. I struggled so bad the first year. I thought, man, I don't know how anybody does this. And then all of a sudden, some 65-year-old man goes riding by me. I'm like, if he can do this, I can do this, I mean? And then it's just a matter of sticking with it. And then it's kind of neat. You just see yourself getting better and better and better. And then I record, everything is automatically, I take all my information from my watch, download it to my phone. I can go back and see every course I've been to, what my fastest time is. And then I try to set a PR and try to beat that. And the funny thing is I've set like 4 PRs this year. And obviously I'm older now than I've ever been, just like the rest of us, right? But I'm faster now than I was 2 years ago.
That's awesome.
So I just enjoy it.
All right. So do you eat string cheese?
That's an odd question.
It is. That's why I always ask it.
No,
Have you ever?
I've tried it. Yes.
How did you eat it?
Where is this going?
This is why I asked this question.
This is going somewhere.
Do you
I'm a little nervous.
bite
about
it or
this.
do you peel it?
No, you peel it.
Thank you.
You don't peel it?
No, I do.
Oh yeah.
I fry it.
There's a reason I asked that
You
question.
peel it. You peel it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody not peel
There's
it.
animals out there like Lindsay Foot that chews, like bites it in half.
Like a beef jerky
Like
stick or
a
something.
beef jerky. Yeah, animal. Animal.
Lindsay's gonna kick your ass for calling her
Yeah, I
an
was
animal.
gonna say. I don't wanna be
Oh, I
on
told her
Friday
that.
night. I mean,
I
no,
told her
no,
that. She
no, you
sent a
didn't.
picture to Alicia. I'm like, what an animal. Hey, go ahead. I just,
Sweet string cheese.
it's just it's a random question in the middle, just like I'm doing Victory Lane. I'm just asking random
I
questions.
was waiting for the boxers or briefs question.
No, that was only for Billy. I was glad to see him in Victory Lane that night.
There's a lot of gas in the stands when it happened. It's pretty cool.
You should have seen his wife.
I can imagine.
Lon, I appreciate that, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you have done a lot in this sport across all jobs, racing, working at the tracks. Is there anything left you want to try, whether it's being a track owner or no? You wouldn't want to do that?
No, I'm not even going to think about that one. No, no. I wouldn't want to do what Gary does.
No.
Kudos to Gary. And I tell you, anybody that doesn't know Gary very well and know how much he puts into that, I mean, his heart and soul is into that track. And you know, and I always knew that. I've known Gary, I don't even know how long, since forever. I mean, since this was Howe aluminum, guys. There's a story there, okay? There's a story there. But and I always knew Gary, obviously his heart was into it. But when I started working for him and saw the behind the scenes things that go on, and that he puts everything into this. And people can't, there's no way they can possibly know how much he does for short track racing and Kalamazoo, obviously in particular. It's amazing. I couldn't do it. I just wouldn't want to.
No.
There's a lot.
Well, congrats. You're the new owner of Kalamazoo Speedway. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
Fire my guys to do the interviews after the races.
No.
I'm gonna promote y'all. Race director, head of tech.
Okay. I was like, damn, that backfired. Uh-oh.
No, we don't take Kenny's from.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no,
don't.
no questions.
Definitely not that one.
I have his number. Hold on. I got it right here. Kenny, hold on.
Yeah, what is that number? Oh, there it is. Right
Well, this is Kobe, but 269-685-9567 if you need to get a hold of Tom.
there. That number right there.
We'll put that on
By the
Facebook.
way, I'm only available between midnight and 3 a.m. So make sure you call me at that time.
And if you don't answer, keep calling.
Yeah,
calling.
just keep calling. Send a text too. You can text
Yeah.
him. Go ahead, Paul. Oh, you just no, I asked. You're good.
I'll go for it. Go
Oh,
for it. bud.
great. And just another. Okay. How do we get more butts in the stands?
Oh my gosh, I really wish I knew the answer to that. I mean, I see what M40's trying to do with the $8 admission. I mean, how do you beat $8 to get into a racetrack? When was the last time anybody only charged $8? I'm not sure that I don't know what their attendance has been like down there. Hopefully really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's working. I don't know. I think part of the problem, I've been saying this for a long time. I think part of the problem is not just with putting people in the stands, is obviously you need the cars in the pits, which also has been declining. Without the cars in the pits, you don't put the people in the stands. And I think part of the problem is when I was growing up, when you guys were growing up, we wrenched on our own cars. Everybody did. I mean, I wrenched them when I was in high school. I wrenched on cars. A lot of my buddies did. You know, that's what got me started in racing. And kids don't do that anymore. And if you don't do that, you're not going to build a race car. You're not going to try to get into the sport. I just think the way the auto industry is right now, it's detrimental to the sport of racing. That's my opinion.
We answered my next question too. So go ahead, Paul.
what? So in your travels at the racetracks over the last, let's just say like 5 years, has there been one thing that stood out to you, like a track did that really damn well?
Springport does a really good job of their end of the year, their big race that they do. They have the bar down there, and he had open, like kind of an open bar thing, and he did it, and it was like, it was a couple years ago. I went over there with Heath Bronkman. It was a great time. I think the atmosphere was super fun. It reminded me a little bit of the old days of the Super Shoe, only without some of the X-rated stuff that used to go on the Super Shoe.
What?
What? It was a lot of fun. They do a really, really good job of putting that show on. The Michigan,
Yes,
yeah,
yep.
the Michigan Cup. Yeah, they do a really good job of putting the Michigan Cup on. So I think every track has something that they do well. I mean, but that in particular stands out to me.
So what would you say your best memory is at a racetrack?
The X-rated Super Shoe.
I knew it. Yes.
Yeah.
Great answer.
I was speaking from experience. I mean, I was young once. I mean, I wasn't always this old. No, actually, a couple of them. I've got one of them. You had a picture up earlier of me and my daughter. That was a Super Shoe win that I had when I was holding that trophy in that picture. My son was in the military at the time, and so my daughter was my crew chief for the weekend, and that was really, really special.
That's awesome.
And then Travis Hall was nice enough just before my son went into the military. He had a street stock and was racing at Kalamazoo, and I was running a template car at the time. And Travis says, "You got to race with your son at least once before he heads into the military." He was getting ready to take off, and Travis gave me a street stock to drive. And so the last night that my boy ran, I got to drive and race against him, and that was those two right there. Probably, not probably, hands down, those are my best memories. It was
Damn good
really
memories.
Yeah, that's
really
a
cool.
good one.
So
Who won that race? I mean, who finished ahead of?
I got him. It's only because Travis gave me a better car than I gave my son.
Oh, that works too.
We'll go with that.
Go ahead.
Well, I like Tom's comment. Hi, Tom.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I had a question, but then I started reading stuff
So
again.
yeah, there's one right there. Dayton says, that's my boy, says he got beat because that car I was driving was cheated up.
That's a typical racer answer, though.
Yeah,
That's a
I
typical
mean,
racer
yeah,
answer.
you can tell he's still got that racer blood in him, doesn't he? You can come in right there. Just don't walk through here. You'll be on candid camera.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Now I got to watch what. Now I got to take back half my answers.
Oh, we'll
Watch-
keep it. We'll
watch
keep
the
it PG
questions
now.
now, guys.
Okay. I got.
All right.
PG only.
Are you retired or still working?
Still working. Not that I have. Not that I'm counting. 46 months until I retire.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had to do the math on that one real quick. It's been a long Monday.
What kind of work do you do outside of the track? That's
so-
probably one of your questions, wasn't it, Paul?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
No, that since high school, since I graduated high school, I've worked at Perigo Pharmaceutical,
Nice.
and I work in the maintenance department over there. And I do precision maintenance, precision alignment stuff. Work with a really good group of guys over there. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Good times.
I'm like 446 months from retirement. So
I need a whiteboard for
yeah,
that.
who's counting? Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
sure.
start the countdown until I got to 48 months. So,
There you
at
go.
48 months, I'm like, okay, and then, and let me back that up. So like, I put a lot of money away for my retirement, and, I'd like to think I've done things right, and financially we're set for retirement. But my wife is 2.5 years younger than me. For her to get to her retirement age would take me to 62. I'd really like to retire at 60. That's my goal, is to retire at 59 and a half is my goal to retire at. I may work till I'm 62 because that would put her at her retirement age, and my goal is to retire together. That's what I would like to do.
I mean, based on your history of the track, you're not retiring at 59 and a half.
To be a consultant.
There is that, isn't there? Yes.
Well, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, go for it, man.
Okay, perfect. What's your worst memory on the racetrack?
Watching my boy's car get destroyed one night when he wasn't even there to see it. We loaned that car out that night.
Oh.
But you know, I mean, and it wasn't necessarily even for the reason that you guys may think. It wasn't. It was two things. Yes, Dayton's car got destroyed. Big deal. Cars are replaceable. But it was one of his friends that was in the car, and he felt so bad about it. And I felt I was crushed for him. It wasn't even the fact that, I mean, Dayton's car will build a new one. Big deal. It was watching Jamie get out of the car, Billy Shannon's kid, get out of the car, and just, he was devastated. And it was like one of the most crushing, heart-wrenching things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
He was so upset. And I kept telling him, don't worry about it. Cars are replaceable, you know, but that car got absolutely destroyed.
Kenny does have something he has to say to you there.
For those that can't read it at home,
yeah.
Kenny says, I don't think you'll find a more fair person that at the track. Tom does a great job at all the positions he has been in, but he put him to the tail for no reason opening night. So
there is that.
Have you gotten yelled at by anybody yet this year?
Just Kenny.
Oh, just Kenny. All right.
He was nice enough. No, he did not yell at me. We talked about it actually right here. I came in, stopped in here, and we talked about it. He says, you know, that wasn't. I was like, well, that's how I saw it. So it's, you know, it is what it is.
Yep.
Sorry, Kenny. Water under the bridge. See you Friday.
That's great. Paul, go ahead.
Have you ever gotten to yell at anybody over the receiver yet?
No, not
Yet.
Yeah.
well.
Season's young.
No, not really yell, but I did have last week. I did kind of just testy once. And it's the first time. We couldn't get a side by side good even start.
Oh, yeah.
It started to upset me, and after like the third attempt, I might
I
have.
know what race
My car was in that
You may-
race,
you may-
the 69 machine.
You may know.
Yep.
I'm not giving numbers and names or anything. So yeah, don't ask me any names or numbers tonight because I'm not pointing anybody out, but except the 26 car.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, that's the only time I got a little bit loud and said, "Come on, guy, you know, we need to get this together." I mean, come on, I think it was a heat race or something too.
It was.
Feature, whatever it was.
It was definitely
the heat race.
8
cars.
It was like 8 cars.
Yep.
We got 8 cars out there, and you can't figure out how to do a start. Come on.
Yep.
Now.
So we talked a little bit before the show about why you retire and you'll come back and all that. But what is it about racing that makes you like it so much?
Oh my gosh. See these people that are up there, Bill Russell, Kenny, Al, every one of these guys are friends. I'm going to tell you guys a story about Bill Russell here. And I don't even know if Bill even remembers this story.
Uh-oh.
This goes back to probably late 80s, maybe. I'm not even sure. Sportsman car. I worked on second shift at the time. Couldn't race Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo was Friday nights back then. So a friend of mine drove my car at Kalamazoo on Friday, and I ran in Southwest before, well, in the pre-days, when Southwest Michigan Speedway, Mottville. I ran down there on Saturdays and Sundays and in the sportsman division. And I finished second in points that year. And Bill Russell was the one that took the championship, and deservedly so. The banquet rolled around, and Merle sent a notice to all the drivers and said, if you want a trophy, you need to get money from your sponsor to pay for the trophy. No, they were going to put your sponsor's name on the trophy. And we all know Merle now. Merle could squeeze a dime out of a nickel. But he's like, he wanted you to get your sponsor to pay for it. And I absolutely refused. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. My sponsors gave me money all year long to put my car to the track. I am not going to go to them to have them buy me a trophy. That's just, I'm not doing it. I'll go to the banquet. I won't get a trophy. That's fine. And that's fully what I expected. And I got down there, and when they went down the points thing, and I was second to last to get up, and they got up there and handed me a trophy. And I thought, well, I looked at it, and it was the name on the trophy was Russell Automotive. Bill Russell, not only did he beat me in points, but he actually paid for my trophy for second place in points. And that was, I tell you what, I will never forget that. Coolest thing. And that's what I like about racing. It's guys like Bill. It's all these guys that are up there right now. It's just super great people. All my friends, just about all my friends come from the racetrack.
That's a fantastic story.
Oh yeah, Bill's a great guy. It was so long ago. He probably doesn't even remember it. I mean,
Are you calling him old too?
well, I bet he would admit it. I mean, yeah.
So I got a part 2 of this question. I'm going to jump on it. What is it about racing that makes you not like it?
Today's environment's a little different than it used to be. In the old days when we were done racing, you guys are probably really the closest thing to what old school racing was as far as the after racing thing. You know, it used to be you go out there and you'd rub fenders with somebody. You'd, beat and bang on each other, but you're the first one to help that guy fix his car too. And then you stayed around after the races and you drank some beers after them and you talked about, the night and how it went and the good parts and the bad parts and whatever. Nobody does that anymore. And I just see it as a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. I don't think the sport's just doesn't have the same feel it used to have. And that's one of the things I don't like about it today. I think we need to get that back. I don't know how. You guys are certainly doing your part. No doubt about that. I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are doing your part, but we need more of that. I don't know how you put that into people. But
It's sad. That's been the struggle we've talked about for years.
I mean, if we just block the entrance at the end of the night,
so they can't get out.
yeah,
and
they have no choice.
Stack up some cases of beer there.
Take one. Go meet a friend.
Yeah.
Lindsay, 100%. We literally will hang out till 2 a.m. Friday night.
Or
I
until
think
the
it
lights
was
go off, whichever
Or
comes
the lights
first.
come
Now,
off.
I'm
Yes.
going to go back seriously years ago, and Al Harris will remember these days. He might have been a part of a couple of them, but we would be down in the infield until they turned the lights off. Kelly Sue Jones, Marty's wife, Kelly Sue would get on the PA system and tell everybody to get the hell out of the pitch. We're done for the night. And so we would all load up and we'd go to the top side and we'd put our cars in a big circle up there. And you'd stand around, you drink beer. And there's more than once, me and my buddy that worked on my car with me, Jim McGinnis, helped me out in my car. And we'd look up and we'd see the sun just starting to come up over the trees. We'd be like, well, time to go home.
There was a couple of nights like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we used to do that. It was fun. It wasn't always until the sun came up, but it was always wee hours of the night, and
They finally got to the point last week. They're like, just shut the lights off when you leave. Yep, you got it. We'll shut them off. I like it. Go ahead, buddy. I only got 2 more questions.
All right, I have one more. I don't have my normal last question.
I know.
But this one, so of the remaining schedule at Kalamazoo Speedway, what's the event you are looking forward to most?
Okay, I'm not going to even lie to you. I haven't even looked at the schedule.
Fair.
No, I mean
this Friday, right? This Friday.
So no, 2 weeks ago, Gary gave me a list of the events that you guys probably got the same list. You remember, and you got to go down there and you're like, okay, these are the nights that I have to be here. And some nights there's certain events I don't have to be there for, depending on what the event is. And I was really glad to get that. And I actually stuck it in my duffel bag that I carry with me out to the track. And it's still in my duffel bag somewhere in my truck right now. So I have not looked at it. Obviously one of my favorite events is I like the Clash. You got to love the Clash. There's so much talent there. The Clash is always a good one. And the Super Shoe is always a fun weekend, although the Super Shoe certainly is not what it used to be.
No.
Years ago, but it's still a fun weekend. It's kind of a shame to see how the Super Shoes dwindled down. And the most disappointing thing about the Super Shoe is it doesn't seem like we get the support from the guys that normally race that track every week. There's way more out of towners than there are locals. And that's kind of sad. I really wish we could get a little more support from the guys that race there every single week.
I agree.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm. All right. What is more important to you, good racing or entertainment at the track?
I love good racing. Good racing is entertainment.
Boom.
You hit it. That's what I wanted to hear. That's right there.
You compare, not knocking the NASCAR race yesterday, but you compare the race to a week before that. My gosh, 2 weeks ago, that race was one of the best races I've ever seen in my life. From the time they dropped the green, when Kyle Larson, they're battling for the lead, side by side, door to door, lap after lap after lap, right down to the closest finish in NASCAR history. That was, if you like racing at all, that was entertainment.
Yep.
That was entertainment.
I agree.
And then you get some races and, you get somebody that's checked out by 12 seconds and, and the commentators are doing all they can to hype it up at the end, oh, so-and-so is coming. No, they're not.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no.
just- no, they're not. I don't know what you're timing them with, but I'm timing them with a calendar. And no, he's not. He's not coming. He's not going to catch him. But they're doing their jobs too. But no, good racing, hands down.
Yep, agree. Do you have any more questions? Because
No,
I got
sir.
one more. I want you to go back to younger Tom. Was
Okay.
one piece of advice that you would tell him?
Calm down.
Spilled my water.
I'm not kidding you. I mean, my wife's sitting right over there.
She
so
chuckled.
She agrees 100%. I guarantee it. I mean, just settle down. Don't get riled up over things that don't matter. Because there was a time when I did a lot of that. I mean, well, we all probably have, right?
Are you telling her to simmer down, Chad? Of all people?
That's what it looked like. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? No, it just mattered of just kind of kick back and just learning to just enjoy life and not make a big deal out of the little things.
Man.
That's huge.
I feel my wife glaring at me right now.
Oh yeah, that's a glare. That's a glare.
That's-
Sorry, I didn't mean to put that on you.
Nope, it's probably the best advice anyone could hear
How many times do I tell you?
every day.
Well, when it's
It
hard,
has nothing to do with you.
it's hard. But it's funny is so you guys kind of go like back to the ride a bicycle thing,
Mhm.
But it's like a way for me to kind of any frustrations of the day, whatever, it's gone. You're just so and I think if younger Tom might have had something, and then working on a race car every night that was not that thing. It was not that calming thing. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was not that calming, get your mind off things kind of a thing,
Right. We got a wave amazing.
Yep. That's awesome.
All right, you ready for some real fun now?
Sure. What do
We
we
have
got? You're gonna hit me
word-
with
Word
oh
association.
no, I am so.
That's the
It's
best
great.
part.
It can't be worse than string cheese. So.
Yeah, no,
that one, come on now. Guy asked you about string cheese. What do you?
Well, it's Chad.
At least it was one half.
yeah. You want to know when Paul interviewed me, what he asked me?
Well, you know what I want to do is I think the last thing of the season, the very last night of the season, I think me and we'll get Donnie Breast and get a couple other guys, and let's reverse roles. We'll sit where you guys are at. We'll interview you guys.
I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
seriously, I
fun.
think
That
we'll
would
really
be
have
fun.
A good time. We get,
Maybe meet over, down the road for this would be like a 7:00 kickoff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. That'd be fun.
I'm not against that at all. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
No, I think it'd be a blast. We should do that.
I think we'll have to work something to that
Yes.
one. So this is word association. I'm going to give you a word or a little sentence, and you just give me the first thing that pops in your head.
This could be so dangerous.
We're not regulated by the FCC, so you're good.
I know, but my wife's sitting over there.
It's okay. I've heard a lot of
Yeah.
terrible stuff with this.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
All right. Go ahead.
Tech.
Sucks. Well, I was probably supposed to think longer, wasn't it?
Nope.
No,
Honestly,
it's
this is the best answer.
always
Oh.
tire soak.
I'm all for it.
Kalamazoo Speedway.
Love it. Home.
For first racetrack you attended,
Kalamazoo Speedway.
white flag,
Excitement.
victory lane,
Even better.
traction control.
Deadly opposed.
I want to race against.
This one's going to sound strange because he hasn't raced in years and nobody even talks about him anymore. And I really wish they would. Kenny Scheffler. Loved racing with Kenny Scheffler.
Biggest fear in racing.
Watching somebody get hurt or maybe even killed.
Favorite person at the track.
Lug nut. I don't know.
Shout out to Lugnut.
That's a good one. Officials.
Doing the best they can.
Love.
Or
Snack.
Twinkies. I don't know.
Hold up. We're pausing this for a minute. You won't eat string cheese, but you'll eat Twinkies?
Who won't eat Twinkies? Seriously, they do these
It's got a point.
they do these what do you call them when people bring in food at a potluck. We do these potlucks at work. I always joke around. Everybody's like, what are you going to bring in? I'm like, I'm bringing in Twinkies. Everybody's like, oh, you're not bringing Twinkies to a potluck. You know what the first thing they run out of when I bring in Twinkies? They run out of Twinkies.
Is it because of you, though?
Well, no, it's just everybody loves Twinkies. Who doesn't like Twinkies? Come on now.
Okay. Composure here. Okay.
Also, this guy eats Twinkies and bikes 40,000 miles a night.
I would like to point out it's sugar-free monster that I'm drinking. It's no sugar, no caffeine. Only 10 calories.
Okay. Rival.
I don't have one.
Cheater.
Oh, I'm not going there. There's a couple that come to mind. I'm not going there.
Denny Hamlin.
Not a fan.
Gary Howe.
I like Gary.
TV show.
I don't watch TV.
Song.
I don't have a favorite. I mean, I don't know.
Hero.
Superman.
Track food.
Don't eat it.
Drink. I figured that was coming. Fast.
Slow.
Slow.
Fast. We can do this all night. This is fun now. I finally figured out a rhythm here. Go ahead. I got a rhythm.
Animal.
Dog.
Movie.
Titanic.
Right or left Twix?
Left.
Pit lizard.
You know the bad thing was,
It worked. That's all I
It
needed. That's all I
you know why?
needed.
Because like a name popped into my head. And I'm like, no, don't.
That's all I got.
I mean, I know like a name popped into my head. I'm like, no.
So I'm sitting at home with her, and I'm like, I need the last question for word association that's just gonna be like,
I had an answer. Don't get me wrong. But no.
That'll go on our 1999 pay-per-view specials. The answers to all these questions.
Oh, yeah.
Pay-per-view specials.
Yes.
We're gonna have pay-per-view specials now. Nice. I like this.
Yeah.
hold up, Twinkies are gross. I like. I shouldn't even say that. I'm just gonna avoid.
Bev is my biscuits and gravy lady in my work on weekends. When I work, she makes some of the best biscuits and gravy. And she brings enough in. She brings a big old container in, so she feeds everybody. But
That's Joel's mom, correct?
Yeah, that's Joel's mom. Yep.
Joel, because I know you're watching, buddy. Biscuits and gravy Sunday morning at Mini Wedges would be awesome.
You guys start talking to Joel. Start talking to Bev.
Well, I mean, I figure he could. Hey, ma.
He's probably got a little pull.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a little pull.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. That was fun.
That was a fun episode.
I can't thank you enough. Not only for coming on, but everything that you do for short track racing in general. Like I said, my fondest memory is in tech getting a handshake from you. That goes a far ways with a lot of drivers because they feel appreciated, and it's good to see.
I really appreciate that, and I do miss the drivers. You know, talking to the drivers when I was in tech. But just real quick, and I know we're gonna get going here, but one of the things that when I took the job that I'm doing now, one of the things I told Gary, we kind of kicked it around, and I was debating on taking the job. I said, the thing that really sucks is that now I'm up there, I'm not down here with the drivers. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, like one of the things I've been doing, instead of getting there 10 minutes before showtime, I get there quite a bit earlier than that. So I can walk around, talk to the guys, still, you know, be a part of that side of things, you know.
It gives me a lot of crap why I want to get there early. And there's
something about that camaraderie. And these are guys, some of these guys I've known for 30 plus years. And I didn't want to give that up.
Yep.
So
even after the races, I mean, opening night, I had a great conversation with you after the races, I stick around afterwards, try to talk to people if I can. And what I really like to do is to go up to the guys that had a good night, talk to them, say, hey, that was a great run. You know, even if they didn't win the race, but they you know, hey, they came from, 20th to 6th or something. Man, that was
exactly.
It's just fun to watch, and I like to let the drivers know that was fun.
It's needed in the sport. So,
and it means a lot. I mean, anybody comes over and says, hey, that was fun to watch. Like that makes you want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. And we need that.
So we only have one more segment left. It's the crash of the week. Would you like to hang out and watch it with us?
Yeah, well, am I on it? You didn't get old tapes, did you?
I don't know what Lewis. It's the Top Pro Racing Media Crash Week, and Lewis is up there with you.
It's from this week, so yeah, no, it's good. I'm fine.
All right, let's roll it.
We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer. It's the ultimate high for the glory. We do it for the glory. Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness.
Yeah, there was Lee was parked across from us up top there, and went down there after that wreck, and they kind of started getting ready, and there was a lot bent on that car that I've not seen.
He sent me some pictures Saturday because I got a hold of him Saturday, and I knew it was bad, and I got a hold of him and. Hey, how are you doing? First of all, the car, we know what that looked like, and he told me that was, and he's raced a long, long time.
Right.
Said it was the hardest hit he's ever had. So I'm glad he's walking around, and he said it knocked the wind out of him. He said when they KTS leaned in the window, it took him a while to be able to talk. He said the wind was knocked out of him, but I'm glad. I just wanted to make sure he was okay.
Right.
I knew that was a hard hit.
Yeah, that's it's one of those events, especially we're at Springport. Both very, very hard hits. I'm glad both of them are okay.
Yeah,
that's
the important part.
Definitely. Yeah. But thank you again, Lewis, for awesome footage of top notch as always. I was kind of hoping for an in-car camera. One of those wrecks, you usually have it, but I know he's been having internet issues as well. So we're very lucky that we got that tonight. So, Paul, do you got anything else, man?
No, man. Thanks again. I know we've talked for a while about getting you on the show. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. I still am up for interviewing you guys. At some point.
I think we'll make that happen. I think that'll be fun.
We can. I'd like to just reverse things around.
You and Donnie would be a hoot.
Me and Donnie could have some questions for you guys. Pit lizard. That's going to be mild.
We've actually considered designing, the pit vipers, I think they're called. Yeah, we're just gonna call them pit lizards, and it's like have off-brand, but with all the pit lizards names, it's the so and so.
I wonder how many people out there don't know what a pit lizard is.
But there's so many different names: pit lizard, helmet snuffer.
There's lots of names. Yeah.
Your wife's like, "What did I walk into?"
Yeah, see, that's. Told you got to get the tough questions out early before she got here.
Yeah, true. But huge thank you again to everyone tuning in. We had a lot of fans watching tonight, so we definitely appreciate it. Paul, thank you for coming back. We missed
you. Me back on the show.
Alicia, thank you again for everything that you do. And huge shout out to Howe Patio and Windows for giving us a great place to record. Guys, just make sure you guys check in with your friends and family. Sometimes the ones that need the most help are the ones that don't want your help. Sometimes all it takes is an open ear to help somebody through a rough time. And with that, Tom, thank you again.
Yep, thank you.
We love y'all.
Woo! Peace.